Alright, what is up, y'all? It is Billy G Games, back with another video, and man, it's been a while, hasn't it, guys? And yeah, I just want to start it off by saying, as you can see here, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh video. It's not your usual Vanguard video, and I know this channel has been known for a lot more Vanguard content, but due to the current situation, you know, with the pandemic and just life itself, you know, I moved out from where I usually am, so Vanguard isn't really as common out here. So with that being said, I will be transitioning to a more generic channel with more Vanguard, more Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm sorry, content, and probably even just like other games in general, because, you know, it is Billy G Games. We're not totally centered around Vanguard. It's just the most easiest content for me to have recorded at a time. So with that being said, this will be the first video on the channel regarding Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah, we went to locals today and we topped with none other than Invoked Shaddoll Dogmatika. It was very good. We went X1 with the top 4 split, and yeah, we got something out of it. It was really fun. And like I said, with this current situation, it has been very hard to actually play and get out there, but you know, we got back into it. So we'll just go ahead and start off here with the deck profile. Again, went to locals today, went X1, and we topped, and we got some stuff. So we played, like I said, Invoked Shaddoll. So we play 3 Alistair, of course, the normal summon. We have our 4 Meltdown, of course. And we have 2 Invocation. We only play 2, we don't play the 3 because, you know, it's recyclable. And I do know builds where they run the Desires and they run 3 of this, or just run 3 of this just to see more fusion cards, but I think 2 is totally fine for this build. So that's the invoke part of it. To the side. Next, we have the Shaddoll portion of the deck. We have we have the 3 Shaddoll Fusion and the Schism. And now we have the Shaddolls. Actually, we only played a small Shaddoll package in here. We play the 1 Dragon, 1 Beast, 1 Aerial, 1 Skomata, and 1 Windy. So reasoning behind a smaller Shaddoll package is I did take this deck to another locals last week, and I played a more heavier Shaddoll count with you know, more fusions, so I could go for the route of breaking boards. But for today's tournament, I decided to cut down on the Shaddoll portion. Like I had like 2 Windies and 2 Skomatas, a Hedgehog, you know, just more Shaddolls, because the Shaddoll part of the deck is, I think, carries the deck more than the others. I mean, of course, Meltdown is a busted card. Everyone knows what it does. Everyone knows what Alistair does. But I feel like this portion is what breaks the boards. This is what gives you your tempo, your resources that you need, your toolbox. And I personally feel like cutting it down does kind of like affect that. But just seeing the power 1-ofs of Shaddolls is good enough. Like, these are the best ones. You can add more if you choose, but like I said, I went more for the rounds of hand traps, and you'll see that in a second here, my hand traps and everything. But this is what I played today, just simple 5 Shaddolls, and yeah, it worked out very well. So just seeing what I needed to see, and it was good enough for me. So we have that. Next, we have the Dogmatika package. Of course, the strongest card. This card is insane. Nadir Servant, to send off your Alcapulone to get your Schism, whatever you need. Very good. And we only play 3 of the Dogmatikas. We have the Punishment, Ecclesia, and Fleur-de-Lis. I don't play Maximus. 2 reasons. 1, I don't own it. And 2, I feel like that card potentially could help your opponent off as well. And I understand the reasoning behind it. You could turbo out Schism even faster, since you could send off like a Titaniclad and a what do you call, a Alcapulone, and then you'll have what you need for Schism, and it'd be like instantaneous. But it's okay. I think you don't necessarily need it. This is good enough. All right. So these 6 for the Dogmatika package. It's simple enough. And I did play the Dragoon package. All I gotta say about this package is busted. All right. I did end up opening this in the final round, very good, and it's successfully resolved. And I did bring out the Dragoon off the bat, very good. A lot of people that need to play it. This deck, you don't need to, but why not? You know, the Dragoon is Dragoon. Just play if you can, if you want. But I play it, and it turned out very good. So there's that. I also played one Eldlich, the Golden Lord. What can I say about this card? It is great. It is a 3500 beater. It is an out to cards. It comes out as an extra bot. It's just fantastic extender of a card, and I'm glad that I played it today. It did came up a couple times, so that was great. And now the hand trap. So like I said, I played this deck twice, and the first version of this deck was more of a board breaking version with Super Polys and Dark Rulers, but we opted out of that to play 3 Ash, 2 Veiler, 2 Phantasme, and let's get in there, 2 Imperm. Okay, so with this, let's just say Ash overperformed today. Ash is Ash, that's why I run it. Generic hand trap. I used this the most today. It was very good. Veiler didn't really come up today. I did have it in my hand against a striker matchup, but when I did use the Veiler, he had a, what was that card called? Ego Booster, so it was unaffected. It didn't really matter. But Phantasme overperformed today, again, against a striker player. I saw it against him, drew me into my pieces, into my hand traps, and it's really good. Again, I do run the Phantasme for the reason that you can also fuse this with Dark Magician to make a Dragoon, which is really good also, and it does work with the deck, so very good. And Impermanence, yeah, I mean, I impermed an Alistair today. it was great. So, yeah, Imperm is just Imperm, you know. I do run 2 of it. I did run 3 at one point, but it doesn't synergize very well with the deck, and it's just there for the occasional, like, just quick negate if it comes up. So there's that. And now for the power cards, we have 2 Prosperities. I didn't see it at all today. Harpy's Feather Duster. My god, MVP last round. We saw it game 1 against an Altergeist deck, and yeah, it was really broken. And 2 Super Poly. We saw it when we saw it. We didn't get to resolve it though, but it was just there because you know, if I needed it, I needed it, but it was just there. And we had the one call by. I did see this also. Very good card. There's a reason why it's at 1. So yeah, that is the main deck that we played. Go with the extra next. Avoid the beater token. Anyway, so very standardized. 2 window, 2 app, 2 construct. You don't need any more of this. This is what it is right here. 1 to send off the Nadir, 1 to make. Window is window, schism, and the construct's construct. So we run that. We have our package of the Macabre, Agoides, and last minute change-in was the Kaliga. Okay, Kaliga is obviously the flex spot here. We could easily make this the Ragin. I felt like the Ragin could have came in today more than the Kaliga, which is surprising because you don't really see that or hear that much. Like, Ragin's usually the flex spot where it just gets banished off Prosperity or whatever, but today, I mean, today my only loss was to a Invoked Shaddoll play. Was very good. He's a veteran of the deck, so I just picked up this deck not too long ago, so it was like very hard to play against a more experienced player who saw little lines of play. And the best I could have done was like a Kaliga against him, but he just broke my board instantly. That's the only time it came up, but other than that, I felt like this could have been a what do you call it? This could have been a Ragin instead, but yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I only played 3 of the Invoked, so it is not too much. And we have our last couple fusions. We have the Entis and we have the Dragoon, the boy. Like I said, Dragoon's a card. Dragoon's Dragoon, you know, and yeah, it does what it does. So I'm very glad I had it today. It helped push for game a lot, so that was really good. And our links, we have the 1 Gravity Controller, Artemis, Anaconda, and I did play the Phoenix. Phoenix also came up today. It was very good. In my final round against Altergeist once again, he had 2 sets. 1 was a Protocol and 1 was a Judgment. Obviously, you're not gonna Judgment this. I just made this Phoenix his 1 set, which was a Judgment, and then went into Anaconda to, or not Anaconda, was it? Just overpower him from there because that was all I needed just to clear the 1 back row. So that was the extra deck. Now the side was kind of whatever. We had 3 Twin for back row, 3 Gadarla, just in case we play Bird Up. I saw this card against the Invoked Shaddoll player, and it didn't matter. He broke my board and killed me before I got a chance to kill off his stuff. Lancia is very flexible right now. Tri-Brigades, the mirror match, which surprisingly this came up today a lot more than I thought it would, because today's matches, I'm gonna tell in the end of the day for a while, is we actually saw a good amount of cards or decks where this was applicable. So there's that real quick. And we have finally a Nibiru's Endrils. Didn't need to come in today, but you know, I'm glad to. It's good to have these cards. They're very flexible, very good against like Drytron or whatever. So it's good to have. Now, like I said, today we did top. We went X1, and my matchups were as follows. We had an Invoked Shaddoll Dogmatika Despia. That game was really interesting. I mean, we went ahead and we won that 2-0. We went into time the last round, but we won by barely like 500 because of Eldlich the Golden Boy. He dealt 3,500 damage, and yeah, that sealed the deal. I went first, so I managed to set up my window setup, and yeah, that was really good. Game 2, we played against another Invoke player, Invoked Shaddoll, but this guy, man, he was a veteran, so he saw the lines of plays. He managed to break my board. He actually went game 1 open Dragoon Red Eyes Fusion, so made the Dragoon, which isn't a hard. Okay, so that's not really a bad card against this deck. Like, there's several outs to it, Super Poly, Schism, but I just wasn't set up enough to clear the Dragoons that game, so we went to game 2. Game 2, I went first, set up a Schism, Dogmatika Punishment with the Ecclesia and the Beast, so not too bad of a setup, but he ended up going just break my board with Super Poly, and he played that Link Shaddoll, or the Link Construct, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, allowed him to get an extra body on the board and then finish it up with a Dragoon. Like, it was just insane, man. He told me at the end of the game like little lines of play. It was very helpful. But that was just that. Game 3, round 3 was against Skystriker. He beat me game 1 by just hand trap central, just every hand trap known to man, and obviously, you know, you go second, you try to break board, just what it was. In games 2 and 3, he just bricked out. Like, it just didn't work out. And our last round was against Altergeist, and like I said, it was a very quick 2-0 on that one too, because we opened game 1 Harpy Swelder Duster, and you know, just outpaced them from there. And then game 2 open Red Eyes Fusion. We go into Dragoon, best card. What can I say, you know? And that was it. So yeah, I mean, this is quick, not really quick, but it was just a quick report with a deck profile today for Invoked Shaddoll Dogmatika. If you have any, you know, comments or any additional information that you can help me with, because I'm fairly new with this deck, but it is very fun. It is very flexible of a deck in this format. Easily in the hands of a good pilot can really mess up people. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like, it was a really good deck today, performed well. I took this to, like I said, to 2 locals recently, and I've topped both with it, and it's really good. So that's it for today's profile, guys, and today's video. Thanks again for tuning in, and remember, you know, there's times for change, so we're gonna change it up. We're gonna bring out more and more content for like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, so stick around. Thanks, guys, for next one.